Gerby. Yogurt. Nut blaster. When it comes to finger blasting, I'm the master. 9/11 was a disaster. Black lives matter, but maybe I don't care. Maybe I'm just saying that to pipe a white bitch with blue hair. Life ain't fair. I'm trying to put some honey on my dick and fuck a bear. I don't know. Alrighty then. So, hi everybody. It's me. My real name is Gerbert. I talk to a camera sometimes. I'm back. I tried to stream. I feel like that was maybe a little cringy. I don't know if it's really for me. I put some clips on here. Might get me canceled, but whatever. You can't care. If you're going to be a person that's on the internet as a figure, you simply cannot care. If I find that I am unable to control my ability to care, and I care too much, I'll simply remove myself from being a figure. I'll just stop. Gerby will just disappear into the wilderness with all my bitches, with my many, many multiple bitches. I couldn't really explain to you how many bitches I have, but, plenty to fall back on. I have like a reserve of bitches. So, yeah. I mean, I have like so many bitches that I actually contact the Federal Reserve personally to print me little bitch notes. Just like how they used to use, paper money traditionally is backed by actual gold currency, stuff like that. I have a similar, Federal Reserve notes for bitches. So I have like a bunch of bitches in a vault somewhere, and I just carry around the pieces of paper to represent them. And, it's whatever. This is stupid. I'm stupid. I'm losing my mind, kind of, because I moved out of my parents' house this summer. I live with people, but they all went somewhere. It's been a week. They're going to be gone for 2 more weeks, and I'm alone in this house. Anytime I would hang out with people, because not all my friends are gone, but anytime I would hang out with people, it would be on the weekend, but I didn't this weekend. And it's just like, but even if I do, I'm alone in the house for 5 days. Sometimes I'll go to my parent, or I'll talk to my parents, but I've realized how much makes you kind of go cuckoo. Kind of fucks you up in the head. It's not that bad. I feel like it definitely could be worse. I feel like it might get rough later, but it's just like, it's not cool hearing your thoughts. I think people are very comfortable calling themselves introverts or being home buddies nowadays because of the internet. You can get this sort of artificial social interaction through podcasts or, listening to YouTube or something like that, or even things like music. Just fill your brain with noise, make you feel less alone. But the other day, the Wi-Fi was out. And when you really just have to eat meals alone, like at the very least, I'll try to listen to an audiobook while I'm eating most of the time if I'm eating alone, right? Which I always eat breakfast alone pretty much, and I usually just eat alone in general. Well, not dinner. I probably eat dinner most with other people, but anytime you gotta just spend the whole day alone and you don't have that out, you really realize how lonely you are. And you just have to hear it's just silence. It's not necessarily like I'm hearing my thoughts and I'm confronting things I don't like. I feel like, I meditate. Sometimes I meditate. I got a decent mind frame. It's not like I'm hiding from anything. It's just more so like silence just like makes you feel weird. There's just nothing there. My ADHD zoomer mind's just jumping to all these things. No one to talk to. And it's just like, I don't know how to explain. It's not like the worst shit in the world, but it's, I don't know, it feels bad. Definitely feels bad. What else was I gonna talk about? And some crazy shit happened. I live with chickens. The people have chickens, and I was entrusted to watch over them. But I opened the coop too early in the morning, apparently, and some sort of creature came and murked them all. There was six chickens or eight. There might have been eight. They're all perished. They've all been bopped. There were 2 chicken bodies in the yard and a decapitated chicken head in the middle of the yard. And then all the rest were just nowhere to be found. Some raccoon or some, I was about to say something fucking crazy. Something came and bopped them all, sent them all to the next life. If there is one. Nobody knows. Nah, but I try to find community. How you find social interaction is you go to somewhere frequently. You become a regular at places. That's how it is. When you're forced to go to school every day, that's how you make friends in this sort of academic environment. When you're at the same place with a bunch of people your age for that amount of time, you're probably going to make friends, right? Some people don't, but I was, never one of those people. In high school, I guess I wasn't really close to my friends, but I always had them. I always made friends in school. But, I was never popular, but, I had the homies. But, if you see the charts of, like, how people make friends or how many friends people retain, people just get way lonelier as they're older. You really don't meet people the older you get. And the way to circumvent that is to become a regular at places. I go to the church, try to go to the church as often as I can, go to a boxing gym. And it's weird because, like, there are people there, and I could work my way in, and I'm sort of, beginning to make friends with people, but it's like I don't really want to. It's like I don't really want to do shit with these people. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's me, if I just like, because socially interacting, I don't know what it is. It might not be that it's harder to meet people when you're older because of the environment. It's just like the way you think is different. You're less of an open person. I remember in school, like within the first weeks or two, I could kind of look around and tell who I was sort of going to be friends with. I don't know if people can relate to that, but I don't really feel that with the people I'm sort of talking to in these places, and I don't know if that's me being closed-minded or if that's just, if that's like a true thing that like I just don't relate to these people, and maybe I'll find people later or maybe I don't. Usually I'm not necessarily lonely. I don't need to be constantly around people to feel good. It's just now that, the people I live with are gone, it's sort of suffocating. I'm close with my family, and I have a few close friends, and that's sort of all I need. If I could become socially adept to make more acquaintances and network and stuff like that, that would probably help me in the game of life, but I don't really... It's weird because I don't know. I've always thought I wanted more friends. Maybe I don't, because I'm kind of just like, fuck it. Kind of just over it, but maybe that's because I've become too comfortable digitizing all these things. Oh, I feel like I've been talking too far away from the mic. Am I going to have to fucking go back and post and make it louder? Maybe I will. Fuck, cock, dick. Maybe I've become too comfortable digitizing these things because that one day when the internet was out, that was really tough. If that was every day, if I didn't have the internet to fall back on, maybe I wouldn't feel that way. I don't know. It's wild. Because I just feel like it's very hard for me to have fun with people. I've talked about this before, but when you're a kid, it's just so much easier. And then when you're an adult, I feel like that's why a lot of people rely on alcohol and drugs in these social environments. Like if you go to raves or clubs, that's what it's all about, because your inhibitions are just too high. You know, no one's born with social anxiety. There's introversion, but that's completely different. That's just a general preference for less stimulative environments. No one's born with social anxiety, wanting to be alone, not wanting to talk to people, because it makes them scared, because it genuinely drains them, because they're overthinking. That happens when you grow up, when things happen and you begin to not trust people anymore. And I feel like people become more and more jaded as they get older for the most part. And that's when they have to rely on this shit. It becomes harder. So maybe it's not just about, school ends and it's hard to meet people. Maybe it's about the way you change as you get older, the less open you become. And also my parents are very old. Well, they're not very old. They had me when they were in their 40s. They're in their 60s now, and I'm a teenager. I'm 19. So, when they perish, I'm definitely going to be lonely. I sort of talk to them a lot. So by then, I guess I want to have a family of my own, but I don't want to meet a woman on the internet. That's whack. You got to do it in real life. Maybe it'll happen. Hopefully it'll happen. It's in the hands of the Lord. I have a I'm just gonna start ranting. I have a theory. If you have older parents, there's no scientific basis for this. This is just kind of something I've sort of observed. I think kids with older parents have a more sort of, I don't want to say the wrong word, like a more introspective, maybe melancholic temperament. Whereas people with younger parents, like the people I went to school with who had younger parents, I've noticed have always been more like sort of, they didn't think about shit too deep. They're just sort of run around, do shit. Probably more extroverted in terms of temperament. And that's something I've noticed. I don't know what it is. Something epigenetically. But yeah, I don't know if anybody else feels that. Older parents. I feel like older parents leads to these sort of like dudes who think too much. Or not dudes, just people in general. Not think too much. I don't know. Just people who think more than people. I don't know. Different temperaments. Yeah. I was sucking on some old, baggy Milkies. And I don't know how I was able to extract any sort of fluid from those busters because they were old and, decrepit, dilapidated, mammalian glands. I wonder what would happen to me. Maybe I would be out just maybe I would be a social butterfly if I could suck on some more perky breasts when I was a baby. Now, no, it makes sense, the theory. Because the older you are, the more jaded you get, and then you have a more jaded kid because the epigenetic brain shit. So, yeah. Yup. Uh-huh. That's right.